this session on Introduction to Data Visualization by 11:30 a.m. Thank you.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
Hello, ma'am. Kadirvedi here. Today and tomorrow session, same time only.
Yes, same time only.
Okay. 10 o'clock to 1:30.
Yes, 10 to 1:30.
Today, tomorrow, two days session.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Tomorrow also we'll start
Monday,
by 10 o'clock. Not tomorrow, that is on Monday.
No. Okay.
Yes.
For Monday session, second session.
From Monday, 10 o'clock we'll start. Morning 10 o'clock, first session will be there. 11:30, second session will be there. Screen is visible, sir.
Yes, shall I close it or shall I take it?
Let it be, sir. We'll start by 11:35, sir.
Ma'am, Tabula we can get only it's a freeware, right? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So, Tabula, can we get freeware only, no?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. It's a 14 days trial version is there, I think.
Okay. Can you just share that link?
We will share, sir. We will share.
I think you can download that desktop version. Actually, that is free. Public. Tableau public, you can download.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay. Ashok sir, for license, how much it will cost, sir?
That I don't know, sir, but it is costly. If you need, actually, I will send a separate mail to your coordinator. You can have it from her. Okay. By end of today, I will share that. Okay.
The free one or a trial?
The free one, the whatever I told, Tableau public is free, but it has its own limitations. You can't have some.
Okay, I'm just downloading it in a desktop, Tableau desktop. That's fine, right?
That is fine. That is fine. And when you want to share this file to someone else, you save it as a workbook and share it to someone else. If they have Excel, it will work. Okay, but it won't work in OpenOffice and other softwares. Okay.
Okay.
So start with desktop public is good.
Oh, in the college, we in big data lab, sir, we use this Tableau. Yeah, for big data lab.
I think for you, for educational purpose, they will give maybe
Okay.
that you need to know whether it is a license or not. And even to get the data from external data sources also, this desktop version is possible. Suppose you want to get
Okay.
a data from a particular server outside your network also, it's possible. If you have proper use.
For your demo, can we use this Tableau desktop only now?
For my session, it is only an introduction. Okay. The people in the next session may be using, I don't know what exactly they are going to do.
Okay, sir.
So I am not going to touch the technical part of it.
So he'll be giving the just introduction part only, sir, today. All the sessions today will be like that. From tomorrow onwards, they'll be giving different links, sir.
Now, if I start giving, it will be a repeat of what you will have it for the next 4 days. Okay? That's why I just don't want to touch it.
Okay. For a demo, Monday only, no, ma'am?
That I don't know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. From Monday, you will have.
Ma'am, shall we start?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Welcome back, everyone. Before we proceed to the first session, we have some general instructions for the participants. Participants, kindly select your name in the participant list and rename yourself after entering into the meeting room. Enter your name followed by your institution name. According to AICTE norms, certificates will be provided only for the active participants with over 80% attendance and scoring 60% in the quiz, which will be conducted at the end of the program. Please fill the feedback form that will be posted in the chat box only at the end of every session. We request the participants to kindly turn off the camera and mic during the presentation. If you have any questions during the presentation, participants, please raise your hand or put them into the chat box. We'll bring them up at the end of the session. The first technical session will be on Introduction to Data Visualization. It will be handled by Mr. Ashok Perumal. Let me introduce the most intelligent and experienced person in the IT industry, Mr. Ashok Perumal, Technical Consultant, NURA Tech Labs, Chennai. I have the distinct pleasure in welcoming you, sir. Mr. Ashok Perumal has more than 20 years of experience in IT industry. His areas of excellence to solution proposal, scope management, design, managing construction, testing, implementation, and post-implementation support. And also he has excellent exposure in executing development, migration, maintenance, and data migration in mainframe, client server, and web technology. He also has excellent experience in managing cloud computing engagement, ASP, DevOps for credit unions in US and Canada. He has completed digital marketing training from Madras Management Association. He has hands-on experience in implementation of search engine optimization, on-page and off-page optimization, Google Tools, video, blog, and social marketing. He is an IBM certified ITIL professional. Today, we are privileged to have an opportunity to listen to him. Now, I would like to request our resource person, Mr. Ashok Perumal, to take over the session. Over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir. It's audible.
Okay. The agenda for this today's session is as follows. I will try to briefly highlight about the data and data flow, and then history of data visualization, basics of data visualization, data visualization techniques, and designing charts and graphs, pros and cons of Tableau. These are all the things which I will try to highlight actually. I directly don't want to get into the data visualization directly. Before I go into that, I'll take 10 or 15 minutes to explain why we are here for data visualization, and then I will just try to give some facts. Okay. Before I go into this, start this session actually, it is the right audience that I think we have around close to around 80 plus, 90 participants. It's very good. During your college days or school days, you should have studied Newton's third law or Coulomb's law, everything, okay, in physics. When you are writing the annual exam, you might be writing the laws actually, the laws, every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. But you won't recall by memory, okay? There are few people you can recall by memory, but you can you can visualize the page, which page this particular law is there actually. If it is on the page, on the bottom, right hand, left hand side bottom, 1.3 exactly, that is called a visualization. That is the graphically stores in your memory, okay? So the visualization starts from the beginning actually, okay? So this is one of the best example. For example, when I write, I am a BSc mathematics student basically. When I try to give with trigonometry and other problems, if it has 20 steps, 18 step I know, but 16 steps I know, but the 17 and 18 I don't know, okay? Then I will try to recall the page and try to address, otherwise I will similarly proceeding like that and I'll write the last 2 steps. So instead of getting 5 marks, I'll get at least 4 marks or 3.5 marks, okay? So the way of recalling the memory is like visualization is more faster than the recalling the content what we have read, okay? So I will move on to the topics now. Let's go to the data, okay? We are here in a era where you will get a 4 GB data card, actually everything for 400 rupees or 200 rupees or free when you buy a phone, mobile, okay? But let us try to look into the history of hard drive cost per gigabyte from different period of time. See, in 1981, the cost of 1 gigabyte, if you want to store a data, you need to pay $500,000. In 1985, it is $71,000. In 1989, it is $12,000. In 1995, it is $884. In 2000, it is $12.3, and now it is $0.3, so 3 cents. What is this shows actually? There is a phenomenal growth of reduction in price, but the data is available. That's why during this period, we are focusing on how we can store the data with minimal redundancy, okay? I think you are with me. Here we are following with the minimal redundancy, whereas now we are not talking about minimal redundancy, NoSQL, etc., everything, okay? So everything is because of this 500,000 USDs to 3 cents actually. So now you can store a data everywhere actually, and it is easy. You can get it on a cloud. So this is one basic information, okay? So that's why we have a James Martin book, DBMS and everything, etc., where it says what is normalization, etc., etc. Okay, that is a different topic. I don't want to get into that, but I will go to the next one. When you see these 2 numbers, are you able to see these numbers actually with one followed by 12 digits and 12 zeros, and one followed by 15 zeros? What do you interpret? It's not a scam number, okay? So it is not a scam number because generally any numeric followed by zeros means we will have think of scam. But I'll go to the next point. It is a trillion actually. It is a quadrillion actually. Okay, 1 followed by 15 is that is the data. World creates 2.5 quadrillion bytes of data every day. Okay, the next one is 90% of all the data is created. As of today, we have around data. Of this 90% of the data created in the world is in the last 2 years only the 90% of the data got created, not before that. Okay, and we have 3 billion internet users in the world, that is laptop and tabs, and 4.3 billion mobile users in the world. So this is also one of the fact which leads to this quadrillion of bytes of data every day, and 90% of data got created nowadays only because of 4G. Okay, the 4G got familiar, and which results in previously we used to store data we used to hear songs from CD player and DVD player and MP3 player, etc., etc. Now I don't know where is that now. Now we are using only mobile actually because it's cheaper actually. You saw the first slide where it is cheaper. Correspondingly, everything becomes cheaper. So in 5G, if 5G is launched, then we will have more. Okay. As of today, we have 3 billion internet users and 4.3 billion mobile users. That creates a lot of data. Okay, and 600 Wikipedia pages. 5,27,000 snapshots of photo is uploaded, and 1 crore 60 lakh texts are being entered. It's not created a day; it's per second actually. All this data are stored. Okay, so why I want to highlight this? The data created is more. So in the previous session, you have heard of data is an oil. Because we are going to lose, we are going to move to an new energy called electricity, where we are not going to use fossil fuels. But now the new oil is data. That's what the people used to say in the IT industry. So this is key important. Okay, 600 Wikipedia pages created every second, and snapshots are being uploaded, and text are being created in a day in 60 seconds. Okay. The next one is before that, what are all the data types actually being created? This is very high level actually, numeric data, which is I think no need to explain in detail. It is whatever the numeric format, whatever we have, it is a numerical data. And the data can be categorical actually. It is a race, gender, age group, educational level. It is below 10 standard or between 10 standard to degree and what are the levels. Okay. In gender and race, you can't find an average. So that's why I'm trying to highlight, directly going into and saying that numerical data, categorical data. But these are all the areas where you need to get focus on. Spend some 30 minutes or 40 minutes, 1 hour on this, and you will get a hold on this. Okay. And the next one is the ordinal data. Ordinal data is nothing but a customer. I am an employee of a particular company, NURA. If I have 100 people, I am rated actually 1 to 100 employee number. Employee 1 is rated excellent. Employee 2 is rated average. Employee 3 is below average. There are 4 scales of rating. So ordinal data means on a particular order, within that it will be rated actually. So that is called an ordinal data, ORDANAL, and nominal data actually. No inherent order is required for gender and race. With gender and race, you can go for only a pie chart. So I think you know that actually. Nominal data is defined that it's naming a label, variables, etc., etc. Generally, these are all the major categories of data. In the next few slides, we'll go through that actually. Okay. The data can be mainly divided into 2 parts. One is qualitative data and quantitative data. whereas the nominal, ordinal, and binary data is variables with no inherent order or ranking sequence, variable with an order of blood group and performance, and binary means it is are you yes or no, you like this movie or not, yes, no, I don't like this movie. So it is kind of a answer. Okay, with this data, you can't use it for any of this mathematical process, any process, okay. Whereas in the quantitative data, where you can have discrete data of the information, discrete data is based on counts, finite number of values is possible. Whereas in the continuous data, even though in the discrete data, the third point is important. The finite number of values is possible, but it can't be subdivided. Okay, if number of parts damaged in a shipment means, if it is 10 parts damaged means 10 parts damaged. That's all. Whereas in a continuous data, the length and size can be again subdivided. For example, if you are saying that it is a 1 kilometer from Chennai to Trichy, it is 350 kilometers. Okay, again you can divide that into 350. How many meters? And again you can divide it into how many centimeters? Something like that. So that is called a subdivision of data. Size also. I am 165 centimeters. Again, centimeters can be divided into millimeters. Millimeters can be divided into micromillimeters, something like that. So that is called continuous data. You need to know at what level you will get the correct precision, and based on that you can go for it. These are for your refreshment only, for recalling only. Okay, it is not that you need to understand everything. This will give a good understanding on what you need to do. Okay. 90% nobody will go and do a average on a nominal data. Okay. So the next one is the examples here. Nominal data male, female, and ordinal data is 101 customer strongly agree, 302 customer disagree, something like that. Binary data 192 customer own a car, no. So something like yes, actually 192 customer own a car, 271 customer no, something like that. Okay, that is called qualitative data. And quantitative data, you see that organization, actually number of products. Samsung has 500 products, Apple has 300 products, Nokia has 10 products. In this 10 products, you can't subdivide actually. That's what I'm saying. Whereas continuous data, you have a patient ID, and his weight is 86.5 kilograms. Again, you can divide into grams actually also. Okay, so that is called subdivision here. Okay, and finally, before I go into sampling of this thing, these are all some high-level data. In the next 6 days, you are going to hear all these terms. Okay, I think you just spend an hour on this, understanding on this. This will give a very good idea of next 4 days, next 5 days, you will have a very good session. That's what I am saying. Okay. So the next one is population sampling. When you go for presenting a data, you have around 100, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 70 samples here. This is the overall population. Okay. When you pick a sample, you can't pick a sample from 1, 2, 3, 4. This is not a good sample. So you need to pick a sample here, you need to pick a sample here, you need to pick a sample here, sample here, sample here, sample here. So this is called a good sample. You have a good population, but the sample is picked from this one actually. Okay, now you know how the COVID situation and how the samples are being tested and everything. So I'm not going to get into this in detail, but these are all some of the techniques we will use and statistical models we will use. You will keep hearing the population samples and other things. Okay, these are all topics which needs to be discussed for more statistical models, but this is at the very high level. Okay, this is at the very high level, and I am moving on to the data visualization. Data to data visualization. Now we have seen what is data and what are the types of data. How data can converted into a data visualization. For example, incredible amount of information versus processing challenge. You have bytes and quadrillion, a zillion bytes of data and quadrillion bytes of data. And we have also processing challenges. And data capture, store, understand, and analyze with the traditional softwares. There is a challenge also with the traditional softwares. Okay, and terabytes of data sitting on data center unused. We have a lot of data, but no decision is taken on that because no action is being taken. No one is doing the analysis on that. If data is processed on time correctly, it becomes a digital gold. As I told that data is an oil. If data is processed on time and CEO or CFO or CIO takes an proper action, then it becomes it will definitely reduce the cost. Whenever there is a reduction in cost, automatically it will increase in the profit. Okay, so that's why it is called as, if data is processed on time and correctly, it becomes a digital gold. Okay, the next one is big data often combines with the machine learning to create a predictive analytics and other analytic process that bring value to the information to life. Okay, the next one is the solution for above all is data visualization, which comes for your help and everyone. So you have a data now, and how you want to get this, use this, and increase how you can effectively use this for a correct decision making. You make it use the data visualization tool and start going for it. Automatically, you will harvest the digital gold. That's what. Okay. And data visualization is the process of raw data transforming into a graph, charts, image, and even videos that explains the number and gain insights. Data visualization changes the way we make sense of information to create a value out of it, discover new patterns and spots and trends. Okay, I will explain these new patterns and trends. You actually you may look into the image in a different angle, and I may look into the image in a different angle. So the CXO may look into the same chart in a different angle. Okay, that's why I'm saying this new patterns and spot trends are going to help us. Okay, and the next one is how to present a story to a CXO for thousands of rows of data in an Excel sheet. See, in the previous session also, a guy from Wipro, he explained that actually a story is important. Okay, not the tool, not the concept, not Tableau or anything, etc., etc. The story is important. What story you are going to tell? Is it impressive? Is it going to make me help actually? Okay. The CXO means it is CIO, CEO, CFO, etc. Those guys. Okay. So the solution.
Your camera in your cell phone, you can take a picture and use WhatsApp, whatever it is.
The solution is
video data.
the solution is hello, there is some noise.
Participants are kindly requested to mute their mic, please.
Okay, solution for this is by a podcast or by opportunity and get insights into the data for better timely decision making. Okay, and the next one is okay. These are all the first things actually. Before I move on to the next section, is my speech is audible and any challenges? I will move on to the next one, or I will take the questions in the last. Okay. I think it's audible. Am I correct? Someone say yes or no.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Okay. I'll move on to data flow. There were some questions in the previous section. Data process flow. Okay. How the data is getting collected in the real world? Actually, the internet. I told you, that terabytes of data is collected through over the internet or from etc. etc. Okay, the raw data is collected and data is being processed. What is the process here? For example, I have a machine. Okay, I have a data, and the data may be wrong actually. If you are having a Samsung gadgets in your hand, do you think that it will always give the right blood pressure value and temperature to your doctor? It's not possible actually. They should have coded in such a way that if there is any junk data, what Raj Mogan?
No, sir, you can carry on, sir.
Okay. So there is, they should have written a code in such a way that there is an upper boundary and lower boundary. These are all the things which you will hear in the next few sessions. This upper boundary and the lower boundary, the data needs to be cleared. One more example. In India, the grid power, actually the power connections, whatever we get in a home is 230 volts, okay? But it will still operate on 90 volts with a minimum connection, minimum supply, and till 330 volts. If it is less than 90 volts or 70, then it is junk data. If it is 1000 volts, then the device whatever we are using is giving a wrong data, which is an upper boundary. Okay. Similarly for marks also. In your subject mark, it is 100 is the maximum mark, and no one can score more than 100. Okay. If somebody mark sheet is written as 101 actually, which is wrong actually, that is an upper boundary data. You need to pick the data and normalize it. If you are normalizing it, if it is not possible to normalize, eliminate the data. For example, you have an average of a student is 90. If you have an abnormal data of 1000, that will change the average to 80. Okay, that's why this data needs to be processed properly, and data cleaning the data set is also important. This process is, and it will go to the exploratory data analysis, and we use the data models and algorithms. Okay, here only the statistics comes into picture, statistical models. Whether we are going to use which algorithm, everything will come into picture here. So the raw data, whatever we collect from the machines, suppose if it is an industry, the raw data from the machine, we will get the raw data. That is machine data. Okay, and models in the algorithms work standalone. The relationship between these two is this data is required for statistical models to work, and statistical models will give a better results to the better results and better findings of early findings of if a mission goes down. So all this. So this is not being done for the last. Even though we have a mission data, we are not doing a proper analysis and evaluation of the data. That's why we are saying, even in the previous session also, he told that data science is going to play a big role. Definitely, it's going to play a big role as long as you learn the different concepts of it and other things. Okay, and the only part we are going to do here is these are all the things which will be having, but communicate and visualize report and data product. Actually, these two will be the part of the visualization part and make decisions. The CEO or CSO will make a decision. How the data is processed is raw data is collected and clean the data, upper boundary, lower boundary, and eliminate that what type of data. Is it a nominal data or an conditional data and other things. And we need to pick the right algorithm and do some modeling, and then go for a visualization, okay? And make this as a data product and use it for more than one customer. If it is Walmart, we can use it for Reliance Jio also, and we can use it for Target, etc. That is why it's called as a product. And make decisions. This is the decisions taken by the correct CEOs. Okay, I'm moving on to the next one. Achieving data visualization. Now we saw how the data flows, how the data visualization is happening. The raw data analysis, pre-processing, filtering, view, and mapping. Actually, this is the same one what I have highlighted here, but this is a different form of pictorial representation. Okay, and finally, it is a geometric, and a draw and a graphics. Actually, we need to show the data is one part, and the graphics is another part. The union intersection of this is mapping. If you map it properly, and then it will show the graphical output. Okay, and achieving the data visualization. This is a kind of a technical IO libraries. For example, if you are using Python or R, then there are some libraries are there, and that library will put the data and action, filter, layout, color, size. These are also I explained in the previous just before the discussion in detail. And the next one is rendering, and then rendering feedback, and final one is visual form, and the final one is view, where the user and the UI controls are going to be there. Are we going to give it in a mobile, desktop, or a tab? Okay, so this is achieving a data visualization. This is on the second part. Next, we will move on to the history of data visualization and patterns. Data visualization actually has been around centuries, and many would agree to it began in the late 1970s by William Playfair, better known as the father of statistical graphics. Playfair is credited with having invented the line chart, bar chart, and pie chart. We often use today also. Okay, so it is not a new concept. It started with a different way of using it. Next, we will know the familiar person, Florence Nightingale, the famous for her work of nursing during Crimean War. Actually, that is in Russia. But she was also a data journalist, known for her Cox combo or Rose diagrams. This revolutionary chart helped her to fight better hospital conditions and ultimately saving the soldier's life. These are all the food for thought. Okay, so this is the chart prepared by Florence Nightingale. This is called as a Cox combo or Rose actually. So what it says, the orange color says the death from wounds in the battle, death from other causes, and death from disease. So with the war, nobody has died. Actually, the persons who lost their life with disease is more compared to the battle. Okay. So this is what it highlights actually. Okay. The next one is one of the most well-known historical data visualization comes. I think you should have seen this also. Charles Joseph Maynard. He is a French civil engineer famous for his representation in numerical data maps. His most of the famous work in the map of Napoleon Russian campaign 1821, displaying the dramatic loss of his army over in the advancement of Moscow. So this is where he failed actually. That is what it's okay. So the data visualization is not a new concept. People started already using it 300 years back, but it came with a different flavor, easy of use, just like what we are using for a mobile phone. Okay. So the next one is general thoughts for process. General thoughts for process means we have a statistics versus story. Okay. Generally, what we are going to tell to the CEO or CXO is a story. If story is good, we will see that movie again and again. Actually, like Shankar movie or some etc. Okay, but if the story is not good, no one will watch the movie. Similar to this also, we have a statistics versus story. There was an assignment given by the researcher, asked his associates to present a weekly meeting. What happened in the last 1 week? Okay. The outcome of the meeting is flow. When he asked questions, actually, even though there are a lot of statistical information is presented in the meeting, but the story, what they explained, gathered by the people, 63%. But the statistical information, whatever we provide with the numbers, that is 5% only gathered this information. Okay, which shows that the numbers what we give, rather than the story gives a better reach to the customer, reach to the target audience. Okay, that is one important thing actually. When the data and stories are used together, they resonate with the audience on both intellectual and emotional level. That's why we are having this data visualization. Okay, so you need to mix the statistics and the stories. Okay, so that's what the objective of the data visualization. We'll see some of the things. Okay, the best story actually. This is also in the previous session he told. Okay, the person who tells the best story with data and visualization, data and the story, become the best leader. That's why I am saying the story and the story is important, and the best leader actually that will create the best leader. Okay, so data visualization is important. How we present it. Okay, and you see this image. Okay, you see some conceptual ideas are there from our birth actually. We see something difference and contrast. You see this image, whatever you look like, everything will be, you are in a forest. You think that it's a tree, okay, everywhere. Suppose if I change the contrast color and you see that one bear is standing there, okay, what our eyes visualize is something different. So here also we need to be very careful when presenting it. What we are presenting it, if you present this saying that find the animal, other than that you can give the bear in a different color, and if you show it, actually it is a matter of second actually, 1/10 of the second actually, people will understand it. Okay, there is no need to spend time, because the CEO, CXO, CEO's times are precious for any company, billion-dollar company. Even their seconds are also costly. Okay, and the next one is three attentive. I will take this question, okay, once at the end of this, if you have any questions. Okay, the pre-attentive, see in this graph actually what is happening is, our eye will first identify the dark shaded one. Our brain notice the darker things first. That is called pre-attentive processing. We have the brain treated in such a way that it will understand only the unique ones. Similarly here, there we are seeing the size, color. Here we are, the size is different. Because of that, our eye goes to the size only. Okay. The next one is orientation. All others are horizontal. One is vertical. One is all others are in row format. Another one is the column format. So we look into that this one only. That is called pre-attentive processing. We look into the pre-attentive human processing. Okay. So why I highlighted these two slides actually explained is, you are going to a target audience where they are all human beings. They have this from the birth, they have some habits of understanding things. When you are presenting a visual presentation, you need to be very careful on what we are presenting, how we are presenting. Okay, suppose if you want to highlight, this is a real problem, and if you are not highlighting with a different color, then that reach won't happen actually. The CEO will look into that and he will wait for your availability, and he will call you and ask you, what is this? Then you will say, sir, the second row, third one, from the top to the third one is the problem. Okay, that is called the thing. Okay, so I am giving an example of how the 99.9% of the human beings will think. Okay, the next one, tips to improve your presentation. Okay, see what happens. Our eyes don't follow a specific order, says left to right or bottom to top. When you look into the image, one person will look into the left hand side, another person will look into the right hand side. This is the image. Okay, it has 3 line graphs, and you can look. Yeah, actually, if you have 100%, 100% have a different direction. For example, I start from here, my eye will go here, and then I'll go here, and my fourth portion is here and here. Okay, so what exactly we are trying to present here is, our eyes don't follow a specific order. You need to bring them to you when you are telling a story. The story is not here, it is a movie. It is a target audience where you are giving this story. Okay, so that is one thing. These are all some of the tips for your charts. Okay, and our eye focus on what stands out. For example, this is US incarnation rate, prisoners per 10,000 people. See, this chart from 1930 to 2000 gives, you see this actually from this one, actually there is a normal growth. Okay, uh, our eye stands out when we have the abnormal growth. This is the one we will try to look into that. Okay, maybe this is here it is normal because the population, maybe the population is also normal. Here only when it reaches the population is very high, the criminal rate is also going very high. Okay, that's what I told. This chart gives a different pattern. The population, the birth rate is normal. Do you know why this proportion is going very high? In this 1970s, you can look into that. There was some war. US was fighting with Vietnam. Okay, they lost a lot of people, young chaps. Then the birth rate got increased, and there is some stories also there. They think they thought about next 15 years the college intake will reduce. Okay, then they are forced to close the colleges and universities. Then they decided that marketing that in Japan and other developed countries that we need to bring in more people to US to avoid closure of the universities. So you can check this in the. So what I'm trying to say, one graph will give a different picture. You may say that when the birth rate got introduced, why the crime rate is not increased? When the birth rate is got, this period, the kids are being 8 years, 9 years, 10 years, they are controlled by the family. When the uh, when the things are getting increased, the crime rate will also increase. Okay, so these are all the designs, patterns, and the shots. What I told you some 10 minutes back. Okay, our eye focus on what stands out. If you are creating a graph, you need to create a graph where it is stands out. Okay, and our eyes handle few things at once, not multiple things. For example, here the customer service call versus performance. I think the graph, whatever is given by the shaded chart, is good. But what happened here, the line graph is, if you deliver this line graph is not necessary at all. It's not giving any meaning. But the person, target audience will really look into that and try to get confused. Okay, so that is the reason actually we need to choose the right graph and right visualization. Okay, the next one is we try to find the meaning for the data. See, the rating and the volume. Actually, team A and team B is there, but we are using orange color and the blue color. The blue color rating is very high, but the chart whatever we have used here is not giving the right information. So that's why we are saying our brain recognizes patterns and in patterns with connections. No clear definition is provided in this. Otherwise, they should have been like this. Rating with orange color and rating with blue color and orange with volume. Okay, something like that they should have given. The next one is we are guided by the cultural conventions. This is an important topic. Okay, we can talk about this for 5 minutes, but I will cut short. Cultural conventions means from birth, red means hot, blue means cold, red means non-vegetarian, green means vegetarian. Here in this chart, the time is generally follow left to right, that is in the x-axis. Here it is in the right axis. Generally people won't like this. Okay, so we need to go there. For example, if you are presenting a chart to a China, you need to think of using red color. Okay, if you are because that color they like it. If you are in India, the red color we won't like it. Okay, because it's a communist country. I'm not saying that it is because of that, but the red color they like it. Okay, similarly for green colors also. If you go for a West Asian countries, you can use green colors. So these are guided. We are guided by the cultural conventions. That is, we are means humans. So what I'm trying to say, the human beings perceive something, and based on that, your visualization may change. To avoid this visualization to reach the target audience for the right purpose, right thing, you need to really look into that, what exactly this is being purposed. And if you know all these things, you can go for a right chart, right way of presentation, which will help the CEO and CXO and all the senior management. Okay. This is what I have, and let me check what if I have any questions. Okay. I think chat is there. Someone raised the hand actually. What is the reason? Okay, I will continue. Basics of data visualization. Data visualization is a technique to present a data in a pictorial format. Again, actually, this is. And here you have a data, and it is going with the data, and finally, it will go to this as a chart. And the next one is benefits of data visualization. Simplifies the complex quantitative information and analyze and explore the big data easily. Identifies the area for improvement, that is, what are the areas of improvement. Identifies the relationship between data points and variables, which one I need to change, okay? And explore the new pattern and reveal avenues. For example, what I'm saying, you have a DG generator, and this DG generator, what happens, is not running for the month, actually, not running, actually it runs only 3 hours, 3 hours in a month. So there is no fuel filling is required regularly for that site, okay? So we can avoid regular fuel filling for this to identify this relationship between the data points. What exactly we have to identify, which site that diesel generator is there. From the diesel generator, what is the run hour for the month? What is the run hour for the last 12 months? What are the run hour for the last 3 years? And based on that, we can decision whether we can continue this filling or not. On need basis, we can reduce the threshold also here. Okay, threshold to if the threshold is 100 liters, we can change this threshold to 50 liters here. That's what this benefits of data visualization. The senior management, not senior management, the middle management can take. Okay, in the consideration for data visualization, it has to be clear, clarity, accuracy, and efficiency. Clarity means what? Ensure the data set is complete, relevant. This enables the data scientists to use new patterns, yield the data in the relevant places. See, this is what I highlighted from the beginning actually. Okay, the data needs to be cleaned and clarity. And the accuracy means ensure using appropriate graphical representation to convey the right message. This is what I highlighted also. Use of efficient visualization techniques to highlight all the data points. Okay. The next one is basic factors. Visual effects include usage of appropriate shapes and colors. Size represents the analysis of the data. Coordinated system helps. Actually, this is the factors actually, whatever I explained in different format, this is coming. Coordinated system helps to organize the data points within the provided coordinates. Data points, data types and scales choose the type of the data such as numeric and categorical. And the informative information's interpretation helps create visuals in an effective and easy interpretable manner using labels, title, legends, and the pointers. So that we can use. These are all some of the basics of data visualization. DV branches, actually data visualization branches has 3, scientific visualization, information visualization, and visual analytics. So here the scientific visualization means, for example, what exactly we are highlighting here is, they are doing some trial for a mouse, okay? This AAs. This is one kind of a IV they are injecting to a mouse. This is another type of an IV injected to the mouse. But this one, this level of diagram and this diagram is understandable by the physicians and doctors and the research people. But here what is happening is this one, this is understandable by a normal person actually, which one is the best performance. So what type of, the scientific data means what exactly we are going to give, and the tumors, this is the tumor level actually, and how it is growing after 48 hours and 40, after having this IV, after 48 hours, what happens, okay? So these are all some of the scientific visualization helps. And information visualization is like bar chart. I like dogs, cats, men and women, how they are comparable. You can have the chart like this or chart like this, whichever is suitable, okay? And the next one is data visualization for analytics. It is an integral approach. For example, this is the final outcome, okay? So we have a pie chart, we have a bar chart, and we have a data table, and we have some trend graphs also, okay? So the visual analytics means, in the previous cases, we have the data. Here we are doing some analytics, and based on that, we are presenting the data to the target audience. Visual analytics can be seen as an integral approach, combining visualization, human factors, and data analysis. Okay, why data analysis? Make data easier to understand and remember, discover unknown facts, outliers and trends, visualize relationship and patterns, and ask better questions and make better timely decisions. Okay, so these points actually will highlight again and again, so that it will be better in the movies. Actually, one good song will be highlighted again and replayed again and again by heroine heroes. No? So the benefits of visualization will be highlighted again and again, actually, so that you can take away from this session. Okay, data visualization techniques. When you are going for presenting a data, you need to know who is the target audience. Is it a CEO, or it is a supervisor level, or it is a middle level management, or lower level management? If it is a middle level management, you need to have more technical. 1 minute. 1 minute. The middle level audience, actually, you need to identify the target audience, and based on the goal, you need to present the visualization. The next one is selection of the right chart. Selection of the color theory. I told you, no, the color theory is important. Handling of data. You want to show the 1 month data or 10 months data. If it is a sales forecasting, you can go for identify the problem, and based on that you can take a call. The next one is include comparisons. How your competitor is doing, or how we are performing between first quarter and second quarter, something like that. Tell your tale or a story here, okay? And a selection of visual tools in the digital. The visualization techniques is important, okay? You need to identify the target audience and other things, okay? And finally, the data visualization techniques. Professional data visual engineers need to know the following things, actually. Basic mathematics, graphical tools like Canvas, SVG, WebGL, and maybe we can go for it. Other things also, engineering algorithm, basic algorithm, statistical algorithm, and common layout. But we write this, actually, what happens, whereas R and Python, most of you are PhD students, okay? To come up with an ANOVA analysis in your PhD, you should have used ANOVA analysis. For ANOVA analysis, to get the result, it is very difficult. But in Python and R programming, in 3 steps, you can get the data in a minute, less than a minute. So that's why this algorithm, we need to understand what is the purpose of the algorithm, why we need to use this algorithm, what type of algorithm we need to use. And data analysis, data cleaning, statistics, and data modeling. Data aesthetics, design principle, aesthetics judgment, color, interaction and cognition. Visual basics means visual coding, visual analysis, and graphical interactions. And graphical interaction means, for example, the slider bar. If you are having a time series kind of a data, if you drag, you need to get it, okay? And visualization solutions are the use of chart, visualization, common business. Some points are being repeated, sorry for that, okay? When you are designing the chart and graph, you need to be very careful and you need to do some do's and don'ts. So what kind of do's and don'ts we need to do? Okay, I will go very fast. There are some different types of chart: number chart, line chart, map chart, waterfall chart, bar graph, pie chart, gauge chart, scattered plot, spider chart, tables, area chart, bubble chart. Okay, let's see in a very high in 5 minutes. Okay, all this number chart. For example, whenever if you are regular newspaper reader, the company financial results, they'll say the profit increased by so and so percent, and the percentage of hike is given. That's what the number chart. There you need to definitely use the numbers, not the graphs there. Okay, and the next one is line chart. Line chart is shows the trend of a particular from January to February what has happened and what exactly is happening. The purpose of the line chart is show the trends, accelerate and volatile. And great features of this line chart is that you can combine with here also you can combine with the bar charts. Okay, see this. This is an order. Bar chart is an order, and actual sales is the line graph. So the CEO can take an action. Here we get the orders, but why it is not materialized? So that is why this line chart can be used and combined with others also. Okay. The next one is the maps. This is the current COVID situation of a particular day in India. Here you need to use the map. What are all the areas we can avoid? Okay. The next one is the waterfall chart. Waterfall chart means, for example, when you have negative data, how you present it. For example, you have a sales and there is a reduction in sales, loss of revenue. See, the previous revenue is so and so, and new revenue is again it is going up, and upselling is again. So we are at the new selling at the positive. We lost revenue. Okay, this negative can't be shown as a negative to us senior people. So we will say this as a waterfall chart, and then the loss of revenue and the current final revenue is reduced. You see that? So you need to really look into that. This is kind of a presentation. Okay. Your senior management allowed to see this. So that's why we need to see what exactly is required and how it is being presented. Okay, data visualization types, bar chart. Bar chart has, you see this, how the check, when you are doing a payment, a check is used, credit card is used, debit card is used, wallet is used, cash is used. If it is less than $10, wallet is used. There are three types of bar charts are there: horizontal, column, and stacked. Okay, we'll see that in the next page. And the pie chart, where the pie chart is there is includes the proportional composition of variables. For example, how many males and females are there in the class? How many people are having cars? How many people are not having cars? Actually, that kind of a chart we can use. And the next one is horizontal and left. See, some charts where we have used for comparing data of many items, perfect comparative ranking, use of data label. When the data label is long, then you can use this horizontal chart. That is also one of the reasons. And column up and down. See here, it is you have this different types of bar chart, which has indicates the proportional composition of variables, like how the sales per channel is, coupon, this is the channel, display advertisement and others, SEM, SEO, that is by digital marketing, such as the growth revenue, specific periods, and for comparing the data across categories. Comparing 6 regions and 5 north. Actually, here they are comparing the 6 regions. The colors are Australia, Belgium, Canada, Netherlands, and United Kingdom and United States. And what kind of data is being media is being sales per channel is being captured, and it is presented. Okay, and stacked actually. For example, age of new customer in Q1, how many customers, and Q2. Green color is 15 to 25, 26 to 35, and 36 to 45, and 46 to. This is called stacked way of presentation. And histograms. The difference between histogram and the bar graph is there is no gap between one one value from the another value. And histograms bars are typically placed right next to each other in a continuous nature. Bar chart usually placed between the bars and emphasis on the categorical nature. Okay, whereas histogram is a continuous nature, bar chart is a categorical nature. Okay, that's why I explained what are the different data types. Okay, the data visualization types, God chart, use of display on a single value with a quantitative context, also known as the dial chart on the speed meters, use of executive dashboards. For example, whenever you see a dashboard, all these combinations of chart I am discussing will be presented in one dashboard. You can go and check from today onwards. If you see an executive dashboard, I also have an executive dashboard in the 5 slides down the line. But these are all the charts will be used. And you need to know for what value to show, you need to show, okay? And the scattered plot is this one actually. The scattered plot is here, you see that 2 sets of data. Example here, the dot shows 1 person salary versus the car. If he's drawing a 50,000 USDs, then he will look for a car with a $20,000. If his salary is 2,500, sorry, 2,500, then he will look for a car with cost of $100,000 cost, Benz or Audi or something, etc., etc. That is a scattered plot. In this case, this is the right example to use. Okay, and tables. This is another type of a visualization. For example, the financial statements and the quarterly results of the company, we can go and present it in a different format. We need to go and present it in a table format only. Okay. So the next one is spider chart. The spider chart actually, this is one way of chart, but most of them are very reluctant to use it. But I will explain this. Okay. This chart gives the comparative ranking of reviews and appraisals on multivariate chart. Okay, you can compare the you see Australia, Europe, and North America, and we are comparing the how it performed in the sales, computers, cell phone, cameras, and other things. Okay, so each variable is becoming comparable with how many units were sold between 0 and 500. Europe is clearly outstanding in all areas, and Australia is particularly weak in camera, cell phone, highlights the strength and weakness. Actually, this one highlights the strength and weakness in one view, okay? There is no need to deep dive into it. So this is the time where we can use the spider chart. And area chart. Area chart is more or less like a line chart. The bottom of the line chart is shaded with some colors, filled with some colors. And a bubble chart is visualize 2 or more variables, multiple dimensions. Chart shows the relationship between different products and categories. Investment risk. You see this, multiple things are there. See, here we are having a chance of success. The chance of success, if it is a big bubble, then it is success is 50 to 100%. If it is a medium bubble, the success is 25 to 50%. It is less than 50%. And the department involved is monitoring, sales, marketing, sales, and product. So the CEO will decide the product actually, this product has the possibility of 50 to 100% chance of success. So I will spend more money on this one and this one. Okay. So the bubble chart is required, but not mostly used actually. Okay. Wherever it is required, we can use for it. Risk assessment and opportunities. Okay, this is another way of presenting, but this is whatever we discussed, this is what, okay. So why I highlighted, actually here we will go in some waves of examples and interactive dashboards. See, this is a chart, bar chart, which gives the tickets received and tickets volume processed in this color. Okay, the same is, you see that there is some reduction in this, here also some reduction in this. You can present it like this also to your management, but see that the difference. If you use a line chart and add some text to it, see 2 employees quit in May. We nearly kept up with the incoming volumes on the following 2 months, but fell began the increase in August and haven't been able to catch up since. See what happened when the 2 resources left the company. The number of volume of ticket came is normal, but the tickets what we filled is not able to achieve the targets. Okay, so please approve for the hire of 2 FTEs. Compared to the before chart and the after chart, here the CEO, if you present this chart, CEO will call for a person and ask for what is required actually. If you see this actually when he is on travel on a long trip, he will approve in a minute. By looking into this chart, he will approve in a minute. So that's why I explained all this for the last 75 minutes, why this is required, okay? Even when your presentation also needs to be like this. We'll see 2 more examples. A survey result, how do you feel about doing science? How do you feel about doing science actually? The pre, actually after the test, after the learning, actually it is pre and post. Here the pre and post can be given like this, rather than giving a pie chart. It is, see, this is board. Board means, see, after getting after training actually, you are getting a very good reading, okay? So it is okay means the percentage is increased. So this is another way of presentation which gives more meaningful information. Okay. The third one is how interested are you in this product? Okay. I don't know whether it satisfies the answer, but now you see how interested are you in this product. See, the question is positive. How interested are you in this product? Here, I am extremely happy with this product has to come as to, has to come in the first place. Moderate has to come in the second place. Minimal has to come in the third place. Not at all is I am not worried. Okay. So 55% of the people, 54% of the people have liked it. Okay. So this is the way of presentation where your management will also like it. They'll say this is clumsy and I don't like this, something like that. Okay. So when you are presenting actually, you need to pick a chart and decide on this, because that's why I explained that human interpretation is something else. And here the problem statement is very clear. How interested are you in this product? Extremely interested is good, okay? But what happened, not interested is comes first in the pie chart. So that is the correction we need to make, okay? Level of understanding applies the descending order before and ascending order after. Actually, that's what I am explained, okay? The interactive dashboard. See, finally, what we are achieving for in the data visualization, we need to come up with a dashboard, okay, for the management. So this is what I told you, okay. This is kind of a chart. Whatever the chart, 12 charts I explained, all these charts are highlighted here, okay. The donut chart and pie chart actually. This gives the decision for a management to take. See, this is one chart. Here you can have a bar chart. Here you can have a scattered plot. Here this is the data. Here it is kind of a table and data information where I need to give. For example, what happened? The site runs on a particular site runs active or not. DG forecasted run hours. How many hours it will run? So that kind of information is given. This is an interactive dashboard. What are the characteristics of interactive dashboard? Agility for decision makers means, for example, you need to go provide an option for drill down also. So a lot of dashboards now give an option for drill down and avoid redundant reports. For example, in the manual process, we will ask for a lot of reports. Reports are being shown again and again. If it is a dashboard, it will shown in one place only. And if you double click on that, you will see the details of it. A graphical presentation and click on that. For example, in the above, if I click on this, it will give details of which 229 sites are good connectivity. Okay. And similarly for this, there is no need for another report is required. That's why I'm saying avoid redundant report. Interactive dashboard is speedy because of all this informations I told, and less IT involvement. Previously, actually, some 10-20 years back, sorry, not 5-7 years back, we need the involvement of IT people. Will you please copy the data from that archived one? Then we need to raise a request and we need to wait for 10 days to get the data. So everything is lost, okay? So now we can have the data because the storage cost is reduced. We can store any kind of data, and that is why it's called a big data, Hadoop, etc., etc. Okay, so that is an interactive dashboard. End of the day, you have to present to your management some visualization. That visualization has some graphical informations. That graphical information, what all the features you try to take, and how you presented the story, whether the story reaches the target audience, and the correct decision is taken on an appropriate time. Okay, so that is called it is thing. Okay, the table of pros and cons, actually I will highlight. The pros and cons may differ from person to person. I will highlight actually. The pros is remarkable visual capabilities, ease of use, high performance, multiple data source connection. For example, you are in a desktop connection and you can connect to a remote server and you can get the data, or you can get the data from your Excel, or you can get the data from your text file, rich text file, RTX file. And this Tableau is mobile friendly and easy to upgrade is also there. Whereas the con is high cost, inflexible pricing, poor versioning. Actually, if you go from one versioning to another version, I think we need to do some groundwork actually. And there are a lot of other things. There are support issues, etc., etc. Training costs, something, but I don't want to highlight that actually. Okay, it differs from person to person. And finally, the benefits of data visualization is there. Is here the data concept science bring together the statistics, mathematics, business, and domain knowledge, and helps the organizations to find the way to reduce the cost, finally to reduce the cost, get into the new markets, and tap on different demographics, and gauge the effectiveness of the marketing campaign, and launch the new products or services. So this is this is the overall objective of this data visualization. Well, when you do all this, it will increase the profit of the company. When it increases the profit of the company, the share price will go up. When the share price goes up, everyone will be happy. Okay, so that is the benefit of data visualization. And finally, I am going to recap. I started with data flow, history of data visualization, basics of data visualization techniques, designing charts and graphs, what are the do's and don'ts I explained, and finally the pros and cons of the data visualization. Now it is time for question and answers. Sorry, I have sorry for that lot of slides, but it is a graphical. That's why I added more slides.
Sir?
Yes.
Sir, currently I'm doing PG. While studying UG, I studied one subject, the computer graphics. It is related with this one data visualization. What you taught today?
Will you repeat your question, madam?
I studied one of the subject computer graphics,
okay.
similar to 2D transformation, 3D transformations. It is linked with today what you taught today.
Yeah, actually, one of the point I highlighted. You can present it in a video format also.
Okay.
The data can be presented in a video format also. Okay.
Okay.
That is also visualization, no?
Yes.
For example, you see, it is a company like Microsoft. if you're launching a new product and you are saying Tableau is launched, if it is launched 5 years back, sorry, I have not collected that information. I take an example. Tableau is launched 5 years back, okay, and they are going to present it to Bill Gates. He won't have time for 1 hour to spend on what are the features of this Tableau. So they will create a nice video presentation which will give a glimpse of what Tableau is going to do, what problems it is going to address, what are all the target audience in 5 minutes, because his time is precious. Okay, so that for that this graphics, actually I have added this in the first or second slide, actually in the initial slides. It can be on a chart, bar graph, chart or line graph, or a video format. Okay, I think it addresses your answer question. Any other questions, sir?
Sir, I have some questions from the participants. So one of the participants has asked which one should be used as a statistics graph or a story model for data representation?
Which one to be used for story?
So whether we should use a statistics graph or a story model for a data representation?
See, that's what I told you now. For example, if you give me one problem, I will explain. For example, do you have any problem for this so that I can give an example?
No, sir. The participant doesn't specifically given any problem. He just given a standard question. Is it preferable to use statistics graph or story model?
Actually, it is differs from person to person. For example, if it is a categorical data like race, gender, and others, go for a pie chart. If it is qualitative data, then go for a line chart. Because it is a continuous data. Identify whether it is a continuous data or a categorical data. Based on that, we can take a decision. Okay. Any other question? Why
so
chat is not visible?
Is, what is the?
Yes.
Sir, I have arranged all the questions. So the next question is, what is the pre-attentive processing? What do you mean by pre-attentive processing?
Pre-attentive processing is you try to look at a person and you take a conclusion that this guy is not good. When a person is coming for an interview, you take some decision. He is not wearing a good shirt. He may be technically good, okay? So he is not talking, something like that. But when you start discussing, after 15 minutes, you get a confidence. So pre-attentive process is when first person look at your graphics, he may get an idea of these are all the things. Actually, pre-attentive process is, so suppose when I presented, you have the complete picture. It is very difficult to read all the messages in the one slide. Your eye will go to the left hand side of the top left hand side of the diagram for me. For others, it will go to the right hand side. Okay, so that's why it's saying pre-attentive means they have to satisfy all the audience what is required. That's why I started using animations. Okay, giving one by one, so that they will read one by one. Okay, so I am not giving them the full image to crowded them, so that I used animation one by one, so that they will spend time on reading each point by point. Okay.
Okay, sir. So the next question is, can we visualize more than 3 dimensions in a single chart?
3 dimensions in a single chart. That's what I told you. We are checking the sales with scattered plot. Actually, it's possible.
Okay, sir. So Mr. Kadir has asked one more question. What are the steps involved in 3-dimensional transformation of data visualization?
3-dimensional data visualization.
So transformations involved in data visualization.
Exactly. What is it? Details of the question. Actually, one more time.
So
3-dimensional.
what are the steps involved in transformation steps involved in data visualization?
Transformational steps I explained now. Or he is asking something else. Will you ask him to type again?
No, sir, he wants
what
to,
exactly his question is?
what are the steps involved in three-dimensional transformation of data visualization? This was the question raised, sir.
Basically, we need to know whether, see, that's what I told you here. History of, actually what we need to know, what is your business case? What you are trying to address? When you are trying to address it is a multivariate, you can go for a three-dimensional way of presentation. When you go for a three-dimensional way of presentation, pick the chart, which is what are the charts used for three-dimensional presentations, and then you can go for it. The steps involved is you may get the data from the internal sources, and you may get the data from external sources also. Then you need to work on that and try to get how you get the external data dynamically. For example, the flight leaving or flight arrival time depends on the flight departure from the current location. Okay, so these are all the data which we need, which is not available in your internal server. Okay, so you need to collect it from the different sources. So it is possible, but the steps means whatever the steps I explained, you need to follow. Three-dimensional thing is whether you need to identify whether it is a good candidate for three-dimensional. If it is a candidate for three-dimensional, then we can go for it. Okay.
Okay, sir. So, Mr. Thakur has asked a question. How is Tableau benefits an individual with science background with data visualization?
How Tableau helps science background graduates.
Yes,
Yeah, actually, yeah, go ahead. Suppose, for example, if you want to write suppose if you're writing if you're submitting a thesis, reduce your content, reduce your words, and try to present it in a graphical information. For example, velocity, and what is the heat generated, what is the wavelength between this, and etc. etc. So you can add more graphs into it so that people can go through it very fast. Okay, so that is possible. Sir. So Tableau, there are a lot of tools are available. The advantage of Tableau is if any person has Excel, can open and visualize what exactly is there. Whereas in other tools, its compatibility needs to be verified. The target audience, there is no need for a Tableau is required. But if they have a Tableau desktop, they can change and modify it. So that is an advantage of it. Whether it is a science graduate or any graduate, visualization tools are always going to be helpful while telling the stories. Okay, stories is important with data and real. Then only we will become a leaders. I think I don't want to highlight here. You know who is our leader. His presentation skills and oration skills are good. So, etc. etc. Okay.
Okay, sir. So, Ms. Nisha has asked a question.
Yes.
What about the role of data visualization in the field of geological information system?
Yeah, geological information system only I told, there is scientific classification, scientific way of identifying. For example, see what happens here, it is a very big topic. I think we have time, no issue. No? I can extend it for see what happens. Geology means exploration of findings from the ground. Am I correct? Ground or from sea or etc. etc. So how you do it? You have an equipment with a sensor and identifies that whether some minerals are there, some fossil fuels are there, fossil things are there. Okay, Once you get that, you get the, get the data and present it to your management. What is happening for the last 20 years, the last 50 years, the data is presented in a raw format. So that's why we present it hundreds and hundreds of pages. So we say that when a particular, see, we can come up with a pattern here also. If it is a dry land, if it is of a similar nature like a city like Trichy or Chennai, and if the soil characteristics are similar, it is expected that this kind of minerals can be expected from this place. These are all some of the patterns and points can be derived from the kind of analytics can give this kind of a visualization. Okay, visualization is something different, but geology can we can use it actually. I think you are also using it now. It will be used in a manual actually. A lot of manual intervention might be there. Suppose if I say that, for example, in medical field, how this visualization is used is, if a person has a small tumor, how the medical analytics is working is, it will identify the age of the person and the size of the tumor, and the previous cured person's history it will take, and the failure person history it will also take, and do the analysis, interactive analysis, and provide a result to the physician. It won't provide a result to a physician in a clumsy way. It will provide a result in a visualization actually, visualization with some key text, and doctor will take a final decision. The machine is not going to, Watson is not going to take a decision. Similar to that, here also we can do that actually in geology. So it is possible.
Okay. So Mr. Kadirwell has a question. What
Yes,
are
sir.
the data types supported in Tableau?
Yeah, I told you, no, that categorical, non-categorical, quantitative, qualitative. My suggestion to all the target audiences, whatever I highlighted, if you refresh these points, actually, that is tomorrow. There is no class, I think. Your next 5 session is going to be useful, and it is not a rocket science. After 5 days, you will be a professional on the data visualization. That's all. Yeah, we can use.
So Mr. Anshul asked a question.
And one more thing,
Which
actually,
graph
before
should we
that
consider?
question, sir, 1 minute. Tableau itself intuitively identifies what type of data it is based on the data when you upload. You guys can download the Tableau and start uploading on Excel sheet and play around it. Okay, so that is the time actually when the kids, when you are a kid, your father should have got a costly car, toy car, okay, 100 rupees. But after 10 days or 1 month, you should have broken the wheels and etc. That is your interest. Okay, same thing you can do in the Tableau also. Just download it, upload an Excel, just play around it. It will identify, it will give a suggestion also. If it is a categorical data, this chart may be suitable. You go with the default chart and change the chart to a different chart, and it will give a different flavor to it. Okay. Next question, sir.
Yes. So next question is Mr. from Anshul. Which graph should we consider for representing a big data which contains numbers of data in it?
There is no need, sir. Actually, what I'm saying is, you give a data. For example, you see, are you able to see my dashboard now? Guys, are you able to see the dashboard now?
It's visible, sir. It's visible, sir.
Okay. It has in the background we have millions and millions of data. Okay. Per minute we are getting close to around 10,000 records per minute. Okay. This one, the health status, to get the health status, we are getting a 10,000 records actually. With this data, if you click on this, we are not going to give too much of details here. If a customer need, then we can go for a deep dive into it and provide a data mart where they can go and have the deep dive into it. Okay, that is possible. Okay, the next one.
So the next question is Mr. from Kadirvel. What is the disadvantage of context filters?
Context filters. What exactly is highlighting?
You just given it. What is the disadvantage of context filters?
Okay.
Is relating to the filtering process in the Tableau tools.
I can send a mail for this. Okay. Sorry.
Okay, sir. Sure, sir.
Any other questions?
Nothing posted in the chat box, sir. Participants, does anyone have any questions? Please unmute yourself and ask the question.
Hello.
Yes.
So what is the difference between 2D transformation, 3D transformation?
2D transformation and
3D transformation.
on what point you were asking? No, that's correct actually. What I'm asking is
In data visualization, Tableau, whether the transformations involved, what are transformations, and I like that.
Okay. See, for example, what happens in the 2D and 3D transformation actually, you have a dimension, okay? For example, whatever you have it in the 2D format will be, for example, in the Excel sheet itself, you can create a 2D and 3D related data, okay? X-axis, Y-axis, and Z-axis. So if you have the proper candidate for it, and you can go for and creating the data in different formats, and the transformation for it means I don't know what exactly you were asking on what context. Okay.
Data visualization. Any references? Can you say?
Data visualization.
Material. Any material are.
See, there are a lot of tools.
Okay.
Tools means, for example, there are a lot of tools are available. Okay. What is the advantage of this Tableau is whatever the dashboard you are seeing, this one can be generated if you put the right data in an hour actually in Tableau. Okay. Dashboards can be created in an hour. There are a lot of tools also available similar to that. Okay.
Sir, is there any open source tool for research visualization tool?
Yeah, actually you can use Elasticsearch and LucidWorks for research purpose. For business purpose, it's a paid version.
Sir,
and it has a visualization tool called Kibana. Okay, so it is a recommendation. It has a recommendation engine also. Sorry, you go ahead.
Yeah, while using Tableau, is there any restriction data tables? This much table you have to use.
I think it will have everything will have its limitations. So then you go for a pagination kind of a format.
Pagination, okay.
No, I think when you present it, there is no need for it now.
Okay.
You can divide. Actually, that's why I told us sliding bars wherever it is possible, use sliding bars. No.
Okay.
See, that's why I told you again and again. Spend time on what exactly you are doing. Actually, why the Shankar movies and always hit? He takes movie once in 3 years or once in 5 years, and you put more time on a song or something. Okay, thank you. How you are going to present is important. Okay. Any questions, sir?
Participants, do you have any questions?
Sir, I have 2 questions. I will try to answer this and I'll forward to the coordinator. You can forward to the target audience.
Okay.
2D transformation and 3D transformation. And the context, what is the other one? Context?
Context filters, sir.
Context filter. Okay. I will send in an hour.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. So many thanks for the most inspiring and interesting session, sir.
Okay.
The way you explained the data visualization was exemplary. So, dear participants, please fill the feedback form that been posted in the chat. It will be active only for 15 minutes. Let us take a break for the lunch, and I request you to rejoin for the second session by 2 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you for this opportunity and thank you for IFET. Okay.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. No issues.
Thank you.
Thank you.
2 p.m. we'll meet Rajmohan, sir.
Okay.
Okay, I'll leave, madam.
Yes, sir. You can leave, sir. Thank you, sir.